Welcome, 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 viewers, to this edition of the David Robertson Show, where I'm your host, David Robertson. That is correct. We're coming at you from the fair city of Royal Oak. Yep, outstanding, and what a beautiful day it is. Sunday morning, 11 o'clock there, folks. Day after the biggest one-day car show in America. And if you folks don't know what that was the Dream Cruise. Yep, Dream Cruise, 2019 edition. Boy, all I can say, job superbly done. Well, at any rate, there, viewers, we're coming at you there with one of our own, with a story that could warm just about anyone's heart. Yep. This is about a particular fella. At the age of 21, unfortunately, paid a visit to one of our state prisons. To be exact, Jackson Prison. 21 years old. Boy, just seems to happen all too often. But at any rate, this guy, I gotta tell you, is something special. Well, let's dive right on to it there, folks. Folks, this particular guy grew up in the city of Detroit, more or less on Detroit East Side, street called Iroquois. This guy, as anyone else, back in the early 70s, low on funds, low on education, but high on mischief. Well, unfortunately, this guy got associating with the wrong folks, and guess what? Committed an armed robbery. That's right. I repeat, committed an armed robbery. Well, rightfully so, he got caught, tried, and convicted, and was sentenced 5 to 15 years for that jackass deed he did. But they say when he went up to the big house, and to be exact, Jackson Prison, he was unlike other inmates, more or less kept to himself, spent a lot of time out in the yard, physically working out. If there was any type of indoor organized sport, he would be a part of it. Well, this guy had a knack. This guy was so skillful that I guess the trustees passed word on to the warden, and the warden took a gander, took a look at this guy, and to say that warden was amazed is not saying enough. Well, even though in prison during those times, they did have, believe it or not, intramural sports. I don't know what's going on today there, but to help the guy stay fit, they had organized baseball. Well, this guy, word is, also shared a bunk with the guy who happened to know the owner of the old Lindell's AC bar, downtown Detroit, around the Michigan Trumbull area. Lindell's AC bar. Boy, some of the things that erupted in and out of that bar. Lindell's AC bar. Well, the owner of that particular bar had connections. People knew him, and he knew a guy who was the former head coach and I believe general manager of the Detroit Tigers, a guy by the name of a Mr. Billy Martin. Yep, if I'm not mistaken, Billy Martin. And he got at Billy. Word is, didn't happen overnight. Took a period of time. But I guess Billy finally lent his ear to the owner of Lindell AC. I believe it was the Boutsikaris brothers who owned that establishment. Well, Boutsikaris finally swayed Billy Martin to come up to Jackson prison to take a look at this youngster. And the Tiger organization, along with law enforcement and municipality, had granted it because it was more or less a goodwill visit. There was a game being conducted from that prison, I believe, with another. Well, at any rate there, they highlighted this 21-year-old kid. And talking about speed, lightning speed, talking about reflexes that's likened on to cat-type reflexes. And Billy Martin was moved to the point, after the game, he requested to be introduced to this kid. And he told this kid, I'm going to extend an official tryout to you. You ever get out of this place? And given reason, still young in condition. And this guy held that, and he gave this kid a baseball bat. Now, according to the kid, it was an extra long bat, but the kid didn't care. He was so enthused and blew away that a major league general manager and trainer extended an invitation to try out for the Detroit Tigers, considering time served. Well, according to this kid, that kept him in there. I mean, he practiced even extra hard to the skin on his hands. Literally got raw. He said he dismissed the pain just with the vision of him actually trying out for the Detroit Tigers once released from prison. Well, next thing you know, now he was given 5 to 15. Well, next thing you know, he was contacted, and his sentence was somewhat commuted, at least reduced. He did not serve that kind of time. Word is, I believe, in the 4th year of a 5 to 15-year sentence, he was granted immunity. All charges, he was considered time served and released out of prison. At that point in time, I believe he was 25. And he followed through on that invitation from Billy Martin. And if you folks don't know, he made the team. Isn't that something? From rags to riches. Being cast away and locked away and even forgotten in hardened prison. He did the time, but the time did not do him. And to get out and be given an opportunity to try out for the Detroit Tigers and make the team is unheard of. Yep, that happened back in the year of 1975. Now, the first year in the major leaguers, they said he struggled. But that second year broke every record one could think of, was considered an elite top player, even made the All-Star team. This guy was awesome. This guy, to the tune, was so popular, there was a movie made of him. The movie was entitled, One of a Million, The Ron Laflor Story. And folks, it was a major Hollywood hit. And the leading man who played Ron Laflor was none other than a Mr. LeVar Burton. That name should ring a bell, because just a year previous to that, he landed the major role of a major super blockbuster movie that was written by the late, great Alex Haley.